Thanks for staying with us. So according to the report, the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja, has ordered the final forfeiture of NOKS University and all of its assets said to be linked to one Anthony Hassan, a former director of finance and accounts at the Federal Ministry of Health. The commission had alleged that Hassan diverted public funds with which he acquired the identified assets. Now, how do civil servants with the minimum wage get such humongous sum to build such assets? I also don't want to label them just because they're civil servants, because these are Nigerians. It's nice to label civil servants, but these are Nigerians who can be teachers, they can be the MD of the hospital, they can be the MD of companies, they can be the same guy. They are the same Nigerians across board, and they are doing similar, they're causing similar atrocities in different ways. So we're going to be discussing this morning this issue of corruption. In this particular story, this one civil servant took enough money to buy these properties. What are your thoughts? And how does it come to you? You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 09024-163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. I always try not to point fingers because it's always easy once one person is caught. Oh, that's the thief. You know, but we forget that we're all Nigerians, and any one of us could have been in that situation, and a lot of Nigerians could have done exactly what he did.
The comment was going straight to the fact that maybe this is the heads of governments and the politicians have done this kind of thing. So people that now have opportunity take advantage of it. I had a conversation with somebody 2 days ago in the UK that was saying a Nigerian friend, he's having to closed down a business he has run in the UK for the past over 10 years because he entrusted the past 3 years to a Nigerian and just felt like, this lady's been doing an amazing job over the past 1 year. The last 2 years, he didn't pay much attention. Next thing, they are in debt, the business is folding up, like the business is gone just because he decided to trust another person. So I was not like, but you know, Nigerians do this thing in Nigeria. Why you now be UK? You think suddenly this person will not be operating based on the system here. What we do follows us wherever we go to, and it doesn't mean everybody is bad, but this is really bad, and stronger consequences will help reduce these things from happening, and I'm happy that at least the court has granted complete forfeiture.
In his defense, he tried to insist that, you know, these were, and it's possible that it's true, that the university was built with funds sourced by other investors, and we know people sometimes call and say, okay, how is your business doing? I have a friend who's always asking me, can I invest in your rice business? I'll be like, please, the amount of money that I need to rescale that business is too huge if you're not ready and, you know, keeping books and all of that. So people can actually invest, but he was not now able to show the court how those investors' monies came in. Also, when he tried to raise a defense of how he bought the 6 plots of land where his international hotel was built, he couldn't show credible evidence of the ownership of the land. You know, just so many loose ends. So it's possible that he even woke up into money. His father might have money, or his uncle is Dangote.
Show that one now.
But you know what? A failure to be able to link them clean, because we are now tracing, you know, is what. So nobody's about him being a civil servant and owning. But if on a civil servant scale of earning, can you own all of those investments single-handedly as one person? No, that's not possible. So you would have found a businessman whose business is, you know, go to the banks, go to the investors, and have ropes to the link so that you're not even laundering money. Failure to show direct cause, show link, you know, to tidy up.
That's another lesson, though.
What's the lesson?
The lesson is the fact that because when you want to start a business, you're looking for people to give you money. You have no idea where the money is coming from. You're hoping that somebody can just invest. You have no clue what kind of business. And some people are they're like slush funds, looking for money where to even keep this money. Say, oh, Maria, we're doing something. Okay, I can give you like 50 million naira. And you are excited thinking, oh, I have an investor. Not knowing that he's trying to clean up, launder his own money. So we have to also be very careful. That's why it's always good to go to the institutions to collect so they trace. But it's an interesting lesson. But go ahead.
But this one is not.
We are talking about corruption. We are talking about Nigeria. And I don't want us to drum up these different scenarios for something that many of us have seen, you know, even amongst people that we know, how people have taken advantage of their offices, their positions, to enrich themselves, and then they have used that to build, you know, facilities or put up structures to launder the money that they have, you know, taken out or, you know, due to corruption. So for me, it's a lesson for all of us. The lesson for all of us is, it seems that there's now there's now trust. Not trust. There's like an awakening. You know, we're now pointing at finger, we're now calling people out. Our FCT minister is putting down names of people who are owing. We're now looking at properties and investigating people. So in the course of investigation, I feel for them to have put this out now where they're taking these properties from him, there must have been an investigation. First of all, who owns this? At least that's the first question. Yeah. Oh, it's you. What do you do? And in the course of the investigation, if you say that other people invested in it, who are these people that invested in it? There's no sane person who's going to invest in your business in this Nigeria and would not want it written in some form of contract with a lawyer or in a written form. Even family members, you would have some form of transaction via bank to show that monies were, you know, transferred to you from an account. So if he's unable to show that, if transfers and, you know, shows him from maybe government account into his personal account, that's when you have this situation of trying to maybe someone that invested in him, maybe it's money laundering. And then when it's money laundering, a lot of people that do these big businesses where they have to get investors, they also understand that there are steps that they need to take, because this is Nigeria. Constantly we're hearing of people who have been, you know, scammed because of these money launderers and these scammers. So you go through a bank too, and you're doing a business. The money that you're even going to pay into the bank wants to know who your source is. You know, how did you make that money? There is a culture of corruption in our country. So we're not surprised by that. What is surprising for us now is that, are you ready to bring down big names that are involved in this?
Let me take Salisu. We'll hold it for a minute. Good morning, Salisu. You're live.
Hello, good morning, Mama.
Good morning.
And the wonderful team. An excellent topic as usual. Thank you very much. Regarding the topic at hand, my contribution will go this way. First of all, we are all guilty to some certain level, because the more hello.
Very clearly, go ahead, please. We can hear you.
We are guilty. I mean myself inclusive. The moment somebody gets into an office, you will see his kit and kins lining to go and put requests for him. And we are talking about, hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, very clearly. Go ahead, please.
So, like I did say, the sheer pressure family mount on officials also is a contributory factor.
Right.
Because somebody on a fixed salary, you know your rate per month, you know that rate per month times 12 plus bonus or something at least will amount to something, but yet the family, all the casemen will be lining from villages to go and mount requests on him. That is one of the major issues. And again, on the government cycle, what happened to annual asset declaration? We should make it a duty, any person in an elected office, if he is to run a tenure of, let's say, 4 years, every blessed year there should be asset declaration. So there are audit departments and there are external auditors. We know what is due for him in a given year. So that particular tenure, we know, give and take whatever is expected that he will get. And again, if that audit check is thorough, you will see officials even running away from gifts. Because how will you account for the gift if at the end of a period your something pop up in your declaration? Yeah. How will you account for it? We are not serious from the government.
Thank you very much, Salisu. I mean, so he made some really interesting points.
You know, there was something Mariam said when she said that, oh, are we ready to go for the big names? Because the truth is, this is not the first civil servant that has untraceable assets to their name. If we want to really, if we say we're facing one person, are we ready to face every civil servant that has untraceable assets? I mean, well, untraceable wealth, that undefendable wealth, you know. And we need to do this so that we can change the culture, because our system cannot change if people feel that they can. Nobody is questioning me, I'm unquestionable, I can do whatever I want to do and get away with it. civil service runs the government. Politicians will come and go, but civil servants are the ones that run the system. And if they are effective, the system will work. If they are not, the system will not work. If they decide to be a stumbling block, the block will be very big, or you cannot shift it.
Yes.
So if we decide to encourage diligence and interrogate any... because sometimes we look at it, if you see somebody, you look at it that we're working in the same office. How come Mariah is looking, is he doing something I need to do? So, and that is now spreading the culture of corruption that, this is what she usually does. So you will mount your own roadblock. Since you know the roadblock that this person has mounted has made them buy land, made them buy house, send their children to school abroad. So you will create your own, the files will not move until they settle me. So that me too, I can be able to live the way this my colleague is living. But when your colleague gets when your colleague's assets get seized, if your colleague's name is called out and embarrassed, you would also release your own roadblock. So we will start undoing the damage of several years, but we need to be consistent with it over a long period of time.
There's another angle that when government fails to do certain things, and you as, remember Wadume? Wadume was a kidnapper, but the money he got from kidnapping, he used to help his community. So there's also that part that, for me to create a university, I felt that there's a need in my community. He built this university in Kaduna, I believe. He felt that community desperately needed a university. So in his own thinking, he's like, okay, maybe I take these funds because I have the access, right? And I'm doing good with it. So in that kind of situation, he will expect some kind of leniency because the end result is supposed to be justify the means. I'm just saying. So that's how some of these people look at it. But I'll get your response. Let me take this call from Khalifa. Khalifa, thanks for calling.
Okay. Good day. My name is Khalifa, and the issue here is we have two issues at hand. We have two issues at hand here. The first issue is, you see the mindset of these people, of every citizen, when they want to get into power, everybody's mindset is on stealing money. Okay, if I'm getting into power, if I become maybe a politician, a governor, a president, this is the amount of money I'm sky. Everybody's mindset is on this issue of stealing money. So first of all, this issue needs to be eradicated. Then second of all is the assets allocated to these officials, these politicians are too much. Because when you see somebody collecting like 3 million naira or something, it's becoming too much. So these assets, you see someone just sitting there.
I didn't get Khalifa very well now. So we didn't hear him very well in the studio. But go ahead, Nima.
So I said, God forbid, let the proceeds of corruption, of kidnapping and murder not be used to repair our community. The costs go to spread from the owner, because I believe that every action carries its own repercussions spiritually. Then, on this particular one, I want to commend the federal government, because we know that we know stealing as stealing. We don't know it as pilfering. We don't know it as mismanagement of funds. We don't know it as diversion of funds, embezzlement. We don't know it as, kickbacks. But that's what it is in different forms. And so to avoid it, civil servants are supposed to go to the Code of Conduct Bureau to declare their assets upon certain appointments. This person had been promoted to director at the Federal Civil Service. He was posted around several ministries where he held positions around accounts, and he used that opportunity to self-enrich, to enrich himself. He floated a company, according to the story, in 2021, where he incorporated the university, and on the board are Madam Assurance of himself. They are directors and guarantors of the university. Shuren. Okay. He now floated another one I'm using Nigerian English so that Nigerians can follow at home. If we speak so much, if you don't get them. As the owner of Gwasmyen International Hotels and Recreational Center Limited, Gwasmyen Water and Juice Nigerian Company Limited, while he was registering with the CAC, he used Madam, again, and one of his sons as directors and shareholders of the company. Now, Nigerians, thank you. Nigerians do this all the time. I am board of all my husband's companies. I am director, and the two small people hold about 50,000 worth of shares. In my late father's company, where he was doing fire servicing, we were members of the company. So somebody might float a company, and he's actually a sole entrepreneur. Right. But, he needs a PLC to bid for certain contracts. But what you must do is not to sit. because when he mentioned investors for the university, he now single-handedly, in his personal name, bought the plots. In fact, the 6 plots where the hotel was built, single-handedly bought it in his name, but the board of directors, madam, and everybody else. So even if, let's assume, because they get 13th month and they are entitled to certain loan, he was a visionary that wanted to build a company. Did he do it like that? He could not show that he did not abuse his position as head of those agencies to get the monies with which he was amassing these assets.
Let me go on a very short break, because I really want us to bring this conversation home. I mean, as I said, we always like to pinpoint when we catch a thief, try to analyze everything he has done, forgetting that many Nigerians are in this position and they do exactly the same thing, even worse. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.